Today, the dungeon for the Bungie 30th anniversary event became farmable. That means that you can get unlimited rolls of the amazing Destiny 1 weapons, the Eyasluna hand cannon, the 1000 yard stare sniper, and the Matador shotgun. These are each elite options in PvP and definitely worth spending some time to acquire. I spent a good 3 to 4 hours farming this with some friends, and I wanted to share some of the tips that we learned along the way to make it as easy and enjoyable as possible to farm. Whatever you do, just don't fall for the boss's sneaky tactics like we did.
Blown away.
Oh.
Where you going there, buddy? Oh no!
Oh, damn.
He ran
got
away.
both of you.
So starting off with the team composition, we found the most success running 2 Thundercrash Titans wearing the Cuirass of the Falling Star chest piece, and 1 Warlock on the middle tree Dawnblade with the Well of Radiance. As soon as the fight starts, you want to camp the top of the stairs area where the boss comes in and have both of the Titans ready to Thundercrash the mini-bosses that come through the doorway. Watch out though, because it's very easy to accidentally miss and fly directly into the deadly water below the boss. This happened to me more times than I'd like to admit. If you successfully land your Thundercrash hits, both of the bosses should immediately be wiped, which makes the rest of the encounter much easier. In particular, the Shank is super annoying if you leave him alive. The Vandal boss also drops 10 engrams you can pick up and deposit at the middle crystal. This will immediately fill up one of the player's supers if they manage to collect all 10 of the engrams. Next, you want to split up into the 3 different areas of the map. You have 1 person left, 1 person right, and 1 person in the middle island. The yellow bar Scorch Captain is going to spawn on one of the sides. After you kill all of the adds, you want to run up to him and steal his cannon. Then you can charge one of the Scorch Cannon shots into one of the open receptacles to make the engrams pop out of the walls. It requires a few takes of the charge up to deal enough damage to make the engrams pop out, otherwise you're going to need to hit it a few more times if you didn't deal enough damage the first time. All 3 players grab the 10 engrams from their side, and then the player with the Scorch Cannon switches places with one of the other players to shoot their cannon into the open receptacle. Then you want to grab the next set of 10 engrams, and everyone can head to the middle to deposit their 20 total engrams that they're holding. It takes 60 engrams to make the boss go into the damage phase, so if one of the players messes up and doesn't get all 20, it's really not a big deal as long as you deposited that first 10 from the mini-boss. If things go wrong and someone dies, it's also not that big of a deal because you can just do another round of engrams to get up to that 60. Once you've deposited all 60, you want to have a Warlock drop their well in the middle of the arena and then look up to the boss who should be standing in the middle of the stage by now. He has a few seconds of immunity, and then you can see when he's ready to take damage because the white stroke around his health bar is going to go away. In the Legend difficulty mode, he doesn't have a whole lot of health, so it's actually pretty easy to kill him in just one damage phase. Everyone in my fire team was using the Sleeper Simulant, but you can also do great damage with something like 1000 Voices or even just a regular linear fusion rifle. If you're using any of these setups, at least one person in your team should run the mod Particle Deconstruction from the seasonal artifact. If you're using linear fusions, you want to first hit him with a blast of a normal fusion rifle to get the stacks all the way up to the maximum, but if you're using 1000 Voices, you can ignore this because it's going to instantly get up to max stacks on your first hit. As soon as you're 100% sure that he's damageable, both of the Titans should Thunder Crash him and then retreat back to the well and hit him with your heavy weapon of choice until he's dead. If done without any major hiccups and RNGesus is on your side, you should be the owner of a brand new cool weapon. Here's a few extra tips that really helped us out to become more efficient. When you're in the Well of Radiance waiting for DPS to start, it's really great to drop a Titan shield on either side of you where the red bar enemies are shooting from. This helps so much because otherwise they'll be hitting you with that nasty side flinch, and if you're using an LFR in particular, you can really miss your shots. Remember that every 10 engrams you collect immediately gives your super back, so you can use them pretty liberally to either clear adds or even just stay alive. Just make sure to communicate when you need to grab them from your teammates. Also, each set of engrams drops in a group of 5. We found it really helpful to delay picking up at least the last of the engrams on the floor to give your Scorch Cannon player a little bit more time to drop the next set of engrams. If you're super efficient picking up the engrams really fast, then any delay from the next set of engrams dropping can cause your timer to count down to 0, and if you didn't go deposit the first set, then that's going to kill you. Overall though, it seems a lot faster to not bother depositing between pickups and just have everyone deposit 20 at the same time to trigger the damage phase. By the way, the water will instantly kill you even if just a little bit of your toe dips in, so if an engram falls in there, just wait and do another round of pickups if you even need to. Again, if you're depositing the 10 from that first mini boss, it really gives you a lot of leeway. I received a lot of questions in my Twitch chat about how to actually run the boss back to back without repeating the dungeon. And if you're a newer player especially, I understand you might not know how this mechanic works. So as far as the actual mechanic of running it multiple times goes, you want one character to save the boss checkpoint on a different character by wiping as soon as you get to the boss room and then swapping to a different character. As soon as you kill the boss, the player that's holding that checkpoint instantly switches characters back to the one that has the checkpoint, and then the other 2 players can join off of the roster page and spawn back into the boss room. Then the checkpoint holding character switches characters again back to the one they actually intend to do the boss farm on with all their weapons set up. Then you just rinse and repeat the cycle over and over again after each kill to drastically speed up how many times you can kill the boss per hour. If you get it down, it's a really fast and fun farm. Some people also ask, and yes, you do need to buy the DLC for this event to farm the weapons because that gets you access to the dungeon in the first place. Is it worth it? Well, I guess it depends on how much you actually want the weapons and if you want to experience the dungeon. Personally, I thought it was pretty awesome content and I've really enjoyed running it. Out of all the different endgame farming activities, I think this is one of my favorites in the history of Destiny 2. It's really chill with a group, it has a lot of forgiveness built in so it's not super stressful, and the kills are really fast so you get a lot of loot per hour with some really great roll potential. I would definitely recommend cleaning out your postmaster and having a lot of free space in your character before you start farming, otherwise you're going to spend a lot of time going back to the tower to clean up things, which really hurts your efficiency. For my personal loadout, I was using the Time Lost Fatebringer with Firefly, which does really amazing against those red bar ads, and then using a fusion rifle to proc that particle deconstruction mod from the artifact. It's also really good at melting the vandals who hold the scorch cannons. I heard from my Twitch chat that the Salvager's salvo works really great here too, so maybe try that out. By the way, if you're not following me yet on Twitch, my link is twitch.tv/pattycakes. I'm probably going to be farming it some more this weekend, so feel free to stop by and say hi. And if you like this one, check out my video on 30 weapons that I would keep if Bungie deleted the vault. It's the video on the top right of your screen and also linked in the description.
Be faster RAM soon.
Yeah, did you go, you went DDR4, right, because of the processor?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I am gonna do 128 gigabyte kit of DDR4.
That's so awesome.
And so yeah, I'm really excited, but
Yeah.
you just can't find a fast 128 kit in stock anywhere. So
Yeah, that I was gonna say that's a
I'm
lot.
just-
I went 64 gigs, but I did I was on DDR4 as well, even though like I could have gone 5, but it's like impossible to find it right now, so and it's expensive too.
And it can be a little unstable too.
Yeah, and
Sometimes.
also the performance difference doesn't seem worth it right now. Like it doesn't seem like there's much of a difference at all. Whereas like probably if you were building a PC in like a year, it would make more sense.
Yeah.
But for now, it's like rather just have the DDR4, which is like way cheaper, and actually you can buy it, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. It's good to be able to buy
That's
it.
where like literally that was the thing. Like I started looking for DDR5 RAM, and it's like I just now I can't buy it anywhere. It's like as rare as graphics cards apparently.
Gone.
So yeah.
Even some DDR4 is that way right now.
Is it really? Wow, I got pretty lucky, I guess. I had a lot of options when I built mine, but
Oh, well, to be fair, I mean, for like really big kits.
oh yeah, for the 128, that makes more sense. Yeah.
Can you proc the thing? Oh yeah, back there we go.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Gig.
So you need each stick needs to be 32 gigs for yours, right? Unless you have an
Yeah.
8 slot motherboard.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, each has to be 32.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Mine are all, I guess, 16 gigs each, which is like hilarious to me because like my old PC was 16 total. It's like
Yeah.
how thing, and then before that it was like
know,
having 4
right?
was a lot, or having like
Yeah.
1 was a lot. It's so funny.
It really went up.
Yeah.
And now I'm thinking, like, honestly, should I just, like, because I want, like, faster editing, should I just go 64? Because then I can get Samsung B-Die RAM. Because
Oh.
it doesn't come in kits of
Yeah.
128, but Samsung B-Die is really fast.
Really,
so-
I wonder what the realistic limit to usefulness is for editing
Yep.
purposes. Like
Exactly.
like what's the
I
upper
need to
limit
figure
that
out.
actually is beneficial?
I know, right? Because I'm like, oh, is it even worth it to go that high on Premiere?